Hands down, best movie in theaters right now is Project Hail Mary. And I just still can't get over how much I love it. You know, even last night, as Ann and I were, you know, every time we get about 10, 15 minutes before getting ready to go to bed, we'll just do some scrolling on YouTube on the TV. And we went down this rabbit hole of looking at just clips from Project Hail Mary. And Rob, I don't know if you saw it, but there's a new little promo they put out where it's Ryan Gosling. It's just shot TikTok style, vertical. It's Ryan Gosling in his own living room, napping on the couch. And Rocky comes into screen and say, Rocky, watch Ryan sleep. Humans, scroll too much. Go see Project Hail Mary. and like, just, is Ryan sleeping? It's adorable. So we went down this rabbit hole of just watching this and going through all these Project Hail Mary things. Absolutely love it. Well, listen, it opened to over $80 million, almost double what the original long-term projections were for it. And it's doing great. I mean, it's not doing an Avengers level, but I didn't even think it would do as well as it's doing. It's Amazon's biggest hit so far. I believe it's the biggest opening of Ryan Gosling's career. And when you get numbers like that, obviously the studio is going to be very, very keen and interested in doing a sequel. One of the problems, though, is that the author of Project Hail Mary and The Martian and Artemis has never written a sequel before and has never done that, and has made some comments that suggest that he's kind of against the idea of sequels. Well, when you make the kind of money that Project Hail Mary makes, it can be motivating because it looks like Project Hail Mary, a sequel, could potentially be in the cards. This comes to us from The Hollywood Reporter, who said the following. Soon, Amazon MGM will be able to reap the full benefits of having a worldwide footprint. That also includes a potential Hail Mary sequel. While there are no official conversations underway between Weir and Amazon MGM, insiders confirm a sequel is not out of the question. The merchandising potential of Rocky, played by James Ortiz, is substantial. Like, no kidding. And already has like 4 things with Rocky on it. Anyway, both Amazon MGM and reps for Weir declined comment on a follow-up book or movie sequel, but sources close to MGM stress that Weir is in the driver's seat. The acclaimed author has never penned a sequel to one of his books before, and he is currently working on a mysterious new novel that is unrelated to Project Hail Mary. But he has said he is toying with the potential of sequel ideas, though he does not have anything solid enough for a book yet. Both Weir and Gosling are repped by CAA. Listen, Rob, I'll go out on a limb right now. There is going to be a Project Hail Mary 2. I just have no doubt. Like, when this kind of money, and it's not just money, this kind of money and this type of love, because what we've seen, we haven't seen this for a movie in a little bit. It's been a couple of seconds since we've had a movie where it just seems like there's this universal love for the film. And obviously Rocky, and so much potential at the end of it for what's the next chapter of this story? Where does it go from here? When you've got all that potential money, the universal belovedness, and an ending that completely leaves you open, that they're the continuing stories of Rocky and Grace, I would say this: I will be stunned if we get to the end of 2028 and we don't have a Project Hail Mary either fully officially announced or in production at that time. And you know what? I'm all for it. Now, I can already hear some people saying it doesn't need another one. Guess what? We never needed the first one. It's a story that gives us an experience and makes us feel feelings and makes us think thoughts. And you can do that with a sequel. Do we need a sequel? No, but we didn't need the original either. So I'll leave that at that. So I 100% think this is indeed going to happen. This episode is brought to you by Pocket Hose, the world's #1 expandable hose. Guys, I got to tell you, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is absolutely fantastic. First of all, if you've ever dealt with one of those old school hoses, you know exactly how annoying they are. They kink, they crease up at the spigot, and half the times it feels like you're fighting the hose more than actually watering anything. But the Pocket Hose Copperhead has this pocket pivot that swivels 360 degrees so you get full water flow and way more freedom to move around your home and yard with ease. And here's the part I really love. When you're done, it shrinks right back down to pocket size, which makes it ridiculously easy to carry, handle, and store. And after trying the pocket hose, I am never going back. I even now pack it with me and bring it in my camper van. It's that versatile and that good. Plus, it's backed with a 10-year warranty, which is awesome. So for a limited time, my listeners and viewers get a free pocket pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size of copperhead hose. Just text Campea to 64,000. That's Campea to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. Campea to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. Anyway, Rob, you read the story in the Hollywood Reporter. So I guess it's really 2 questions. Number 1, do you think they will get around to giving us a Project Hail Mary 2? And then a second, completely separate question is, do you think they should do a Project Hail Mary 2? What do you think?
Well, I think that in a way it's kind of like, to go back and look at E.T. Thank God there was a book sequel to E.T., but there was never a movie sequel to E.T. But of course it was back then it was the most successful movie of all time. I can see them, like, I don't know how you would do it. I mean, obviously I don't know what a story would be, and obviously you would want it like the story of Grace and Rocky, or you could make it totally different, a new mission, a new Hail Mary, some other kind of scenario that doesn't even involve Grace and doesn't even involve, like, what if somebody came to Earth hearing what humanity did for the people from Rocky's planet and said, look, we need your help. Yeah, they're going from Eridani or whatever. I mean, what if aliens showed up and asked for humanity's help? And that was I don't know what it would be, but I could definitely see them doing some kind of a sequel. I could see that. I don't necessarily know that they should. I mean, obviously it depends on how much money the movie's going to make. It's doing very well. It crossed $100 million domestic. It'll probably cross $200 million worldwide this weekend. So, but I don't know, man. I sometimes think some stories have beginning, middle, and ends. So, but Rocky and Grace, they're kind of like Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. Who wouldn't want to watch movies where they star in them together?
Now, listen, I'm seeing so predictable. I'm seeing some comments in the live chat like, oh, there's no need for a sequel. There's no, you know what? They said the same thing about The Godfather 2. How'd that turn out? They said the same thing about Toy Story 2. How'd that turn out? I mean, like it feels like every time there's any kind of a sequel mentioned, it's like, well, we don't need it. Well, you never needed the first one either. There was no need for it, but they did it. Now, and then some people say, well, don't do a sequel because there's only one book. Well, obviously they would only do another one if Mike Weir wrote another book. If Mike Weir wrote another book, well, then you take that and you don't do it. Because, I guess the option would be there that they could just license the rights to the property from Mike Weir and then write their own Project Hail Mary 2. I would say don't do a Project Hail Mary 2 unless Mike Weir writes a book about it. Like if Mike Weir writes the book.
Andy Weir.
Sorry, did I say Mike? Sorry,
yeah.
Andy Weir. I don't even know a Mike Weir. Oh, no, he was a famous Canadian golfer. That's why I said that. Anyway, how famous could he be if nobody here has heard about him? I don't know. Take that as it will. So, yeah, I mean, if he could write a story about these beloved characters, and look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I would watch 45 minutes of just Grace and Rocky in a lab together, talking about life and science and mates and whatever. I would totally be down for it. Because to me, it's about the characters. Rob, I've said on the show a bunch of times that, like, take, for example, Supernatural. I don't necessarily think many of the storylines in like the final 10 seasons of Supernatural were necessarily all the best storylines, but I was still obsessed with the show because I love the characters. I love just spending time with the characters and the dynamics of their relationships. And I just loved that. And you can bring that to something like a Project Hail Mary with a sequel to follow up with Grace and Rocky and all that kind of stuff. I would totally be down for it. If Mike Weir, get it? If Andy Weir actually came up with an idea and a story that became the logical flow. To me, it's Grace's journey home. It's finding the state the Earth is in. Great. The sun's got its luminance back, but there are still problems they need to deal with. Here's another one. This is one Ann and I talked about. Hey, great. Rocky Grace saves stars. You saved 2 of them. According to Project Hail Mary, all the other suns in the known galaxy were also dying. That could cause other problems. There's just so many places I think you could go. Yeah. And here's the other thing. I think Andy Weir, when I watch interviews with him about this, there's something special about Project Hail Mary to him, about this particular story, that I just picked up from him that I never necessarily got from him when he would talk about The Martian, which I love The Martian.
I do too.
But he seems to have a connection to this story more than most, and I think he'd be opening to revisiting it. I really do. And I think it would be great if he did. But that's just me. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? According to sources in Amazon and MGM want to do it, and Andy Weir is actually open to the idea of writing another Project Hail Mary, which I think would be awesome because it's very rare that we come across characters like Grace and Rocky, and I would love to have more stories with those characters. Anyway, guys, whatever you think about it, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.